If you had the technology to remove carbon from the atmosphere, wouldn't you want to use it? Well, we do. Growing trees removes carbon from the atmosphere and stores it. Even after harvest, timber and wood products continue to store carbon. Reducing carbon emissions has been a global policy objective since the 1997 Kyoto Convention and carbon agreements. Yet carbon in the atmosphere continues to increase with no sign of a slowdown. Current policies are not working. In fact, they often encourage more carbon emissions. Subsidizing timber growth, but not harvest, is a misguided carbon policy. Focusing only on the carbon stored in a forest misses the potential to store more carbon from a sustainable rotation of timber harvest and growth. Growing trees takes carbon out of the atmosphere and stores it in the wood. As trees mature and grow more slowly, they remove less carbon. When trees die, their decomposition releases the carbon. So establishing a forest is a one-time decrease in atmospheric carbon. Managing the forest by removing and replanting trees so that growth remains greater than harvest is sustainable forestry, sustainable for wood products and carbon reduction. This growth cycle can continue over and over again on a single plot of land. Furthermore, carbon remains in the cut trees even as they are transformed into wood products, such as desks, chairs, 2x4s, and engineered I-joists for construction. Manufacturing wood products uses less fossil fuel than substitutes such as steel, concrete, brick, and plastic products. Wood can be used to produce energy and replace fossil fuel emissions, or it can be used to produce millions of different products that substitute for fossil-intensive products. Applying policy incentives to only one wood use ignores the implications for the rest of the system. At least 18 states have adopted renewable energy standards that require state electric utilities to source a percentage of their energy from renewables. Subsidizing wood for energy moves wood from wood products to energy production. Yet we know that using wood products in place of fossil-intensive products displaces far more carbon emissions than burning the wood as fuel. Under cap and trade, government sets an annual carbon emission limit and sells tradable permits to firms, allowing them to release carbon. Unlike sulfur dioxide emissions, which come from an industry sector with a limited number of smokestacks, nearly every industrial process impacts carbon emissions. Though cap and trade works for sulfur dioxide, for carbon it only considers a few sources and ignores interactions with others. There is no guarantee that the carbon sources that are left out are not more important. Because it's impossible to track all effects in all carbon stores, cap and trade is not a good policy to reduce carbon emissions. Policies that focus on single carbon stores tend to rearrange emissions rather than reduce them. It is critical for policy to focus the incentives on getting the most efficient wood and carbon outcomes considering all potential wood uses.